How's it going everyone? In this video I'll show you some useful tips for Timberborn to help you grow a beaver empire, and I'll go over some common mistakes to stop that empire from collapsing in a day. Consider subscribing if you find this video helpful. First, let's talk about water. Water is the most important resource. The whole game is centered around how well you can manage it. It's also the resource that runs out the fastest, and there's literally nothing you can do if it runs out in the dry season, so you have to be prepared. As you're following the guide at the beginning, it tells you to place a water pump. You want to place this in a spot that later on when you create a dam, that pump has access to the blocked off water, giving you a supply during the drought. A quick tip here, after you build a dam, you also need to build a path over it. Your beavers can cross over without the path, but to extend your district's range, you'll need to create a path on top to link up to the other side. Regarding water storage, one small water tank should support around 3 beavers. This is just a guide figure though, it could support more or less depending on your setup. You won't need as many if you create multiple pockets of water with dams and floodgates. Do be careful of building too many dams though. If they block too much water, they can flood or stop the water from flowing. If the water flow slows down too much, your water wheel will stop working even if it's placed away from the dam. Floodgates are really useful to keep the water flowing. Keep them lowered during the wet season and water will flow normally, and raise them up to act as dams once the dry season is about to start. Regarding water wheels, they need to be placed in flowing water to work, so it matters in which orientation you put them in. And always use intersection shafts so you can divert some of the power to other buildings in the future. Now let's talk about the 2 farming resources, food and wood. Try to place all your buildings such as housing and storage away from the healthy land and leave all that space for farming. You want to use around roughly 70% of your healthy land as a food farm and 30% as a wood farm. Near the start it may seem like there's plenty of food and not enough wood, however that will quickly change once your population starts to grow and food will become the priority. Regarding what kind of food to plant, most of your food should be carrots as they grow the fastest and require the least effort. But you'll want to add some potatoes and wheat when you eventually get to that stage, as each type of food offers a different buff. With wood, you'll want to plant maple and pine. Maple offers the most wood, but it does take some time to grow, so you'll need a faster growing wood as well. Pine is the better choice than birch, as it gives you 1 log more for just 3 extra days of growth, meaning you get more wood for less space. Also plant maple closer to the water source. It takes so long to grow, you don't want them to die out in the drought. When you start off, your wood supply will be limited, so be cautious about how you use it. Don't run out of wood before you even built a forester to actually plant more trees. You'll need a lumber mill in order to get the planks required, however the lumber mill needs power to operate, which will come from a water wheel that takes 50 logs to build. That is a huge amount of logs, especially at the start, so don't build unnecessary structures that waste wood. Now let's go over some general tips and mistakes. First off, the biggest problem you might face is overpopulation. At the start, growth will seem slow, but once you reach around 30 beavers, population can get out of control. The folktale beaver's population depends on how many houses you have, so don't spam houses for no reason. I prefer to only build them when there are vacant jobs that need filling. This way I won't have unemployed beavers that are draining my resources. Also, make sure you have extra resources in stock before you think of expanding or increasing your population. It's difficult to predict how much resources the extra beavers will go through, so take it slow. A good way to tell if you need more water pumps is if your storage isn't full as the drought approaches. If you only have half of your water tanks to the full, then you might need more water pumps. Regarding water storage, you can never have too much water. It's okay if you build more than you need, it's better to be safe than sorry. Buildings and flags can be paused. If your lumberjack has no wood to cut, make sure you pause him or delete that post so you can be employed elsewhere. You can also pause houses if you want to build them for aesthetic reasons without increasing your population. Food isn't the only way to get buffs. If you select a beaver and hover over their stats, you can see what kind of buffs are available. A temple will increase spirituality, which gives a 30% bonus to working speed. And just building a roof over houses will give another 10% bonus, and they only cost 4 wood and 2 planks to build. These bonuses are huge, so be sure to take full advantage of them. But I do advise only building these extra structures once you've got a good supply of wood. That's it for this video. I'll be uploading more helpful videos for Timberborn, so if there's something you're stuck with, or if you've got some tips of your own, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button before you go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.